Goeiemôre almal. Ek het ook net 'n paar transpirante wat ek met julle gaan deel. En ek is verbaas dat niemand nog opgemerk het vanoggend dat die beste Engels vir die dag uit die aar uitgekom het van 'n skaapboer nie. En as 'n Noord-Kaapenaar is ek baie trots om dit ook te kan sê. So hopelik gaan my Engels nie so sleg wees nie. It's a privilege to stand here, of course, and to listen to all the stories. And today is indeed a day about stories. And I've started the presentation with the words, everyone has a story. And so do I. So I have a story, and a lot of things have happened in my life. Good things, bad things, and mostly good things that I've accomplished myself and bad things that I've done to myself. But all of that have led to me standing here today. And so for each one of you sitting here, you've each got a story of your own. And in South Africa, we've got millions of people, probably more than what people account for, but each of those people have a story of their own. And everyone in the world, the billions of people, have a story. And everyone before us who already passed away has a story. And if you think about it, it's all of those stories weaved together that led to this point where we are standing here today. So how do you improve the world? You improve the world by enabling more good things in people's lives, in their stories, than bad things. And like today, we also learn from each other's stories. That's a way to improve the world. So ek wil graag 'n paar stories vanoggend ook met julle deel van 'n paar mense. En ons het 'n tydjie terug by GWK het ons 'n baie klein projek begin om jaarliks vir kinderhuiskinders 'n Kersete te hou op ou Kersdag. En hierdie gaan nie oor die projek nie, dit gaan meer oor die mense. En ons het hierdie uitgebrei om ook by VKB en NTK te doen. En verlede jaar op ou Kersdag het ek een van hierdie etes bygewoon. En by hierdie spesifieke Kersete was daar 2 blonde kop seuns, omtrent so lank deel van die Kersete gewees. En hulle was saam met een van ons personeel, was hulle vir die vakansie uitgeboek gewees, en hulle het op hierdie dag sou hulle teruggegaan het kinderhuis toe. En dit was vir my 'n verskriklike hartseer ding om dit te sien, en ek het meer uitgevra oor die 2 seuns. Nou, hulle het geëindig in die kinderhuis nadat die 10-jarige boetie, voor sy boetie, wat 12 jaar oud is, het sy palm opgetel en hy het hom teen 'n muur gegooi, en sy ribbebene is gebreek en sy arms is gebreek in die proses. En hulle is weggevat van hulle ouers af en hulle het geëindig in die kinderhuis, en nou is hulle deel van 'n sisteem. En ek gaan nou weer 'n bietjie gesels oor hierdie sisteem. So ons het 'n projek by GWK gehad ook waar ons vir leerlinge in standaard 8 die beste onderrig in wiskunde en wetenskap en rekeningkunde probeer gee het, en ons het hulle gevolg. Hulle kom uit 'n baie slegte omgewing en ons het hulle gevolg tot in matriek. So hulle het goed deurgekom, maar wat ons geleer het in die proses is dat hulle het nie werklik verbeter nie. En die terugvoer wat ons gekry het van die spesialiste wat ons ondersteun het, is dat hierdie kinders het 'n kritiese deel van hulle ontwikkeling gemis. Spesifiek in hulle kleuterdae wat breinvoeding en motoriese ontwikkeling betref. En ons het besluit toe om, soos van die ander projekte wat julle vandag gesien het, ECD skole op plase te begin. En ons het hierdie modelle ontwikkel saam met boere, waar ons koste effektief dan op plase saam met vennote soos Standard Bank ook hierdie ECD skole kon open. En daar's nog 'n storie van 'n seentjie wat begin het by die een skool, die eerste skool wat ons by Douglas in die Noord-Kaap begin het, en hy het, toe ons hom leer ken het hy glad nie opgekyk as jy met hom interaksie het nie, hy het nie gepraat of gereageer as iemand met hom gepraat het nie, maar na 2 jaar was hy die topleerling, en hy het die prys gekry vir die topleerling in die skool, en hy is nou in die laerskool vandag. En ek wil graag hierdie kort video met julle deel. Dis nou nie hierdie seentjie nie, maar
Everyday heroes can change the world. The ones who teach what they've learned and those who plant for the people who need the harvest. Everyday heroes are shaped by an education system that instills the right values and the right knowledge at the right time. We envision a society where today's preschoolers become tomorrow's heroes, because by learning about integrity, teamwork, and sharing, these children will become the leaders our future needs. By developing skills while they're young, they will become the ones who create and build. We can create a future we thought wasn't possible. We're beginning to see the change. We see their dreams growing as we see them growing. We see the potential of everyday heroes.
So intussen het ons nou verskillende skole. Hierdie is byvoorbeeld by Douglas in die Noord-Kaap. As jy bietjie nader kyk, daar's die skool wat ons daar geopen het. Dis as jy by die venster inloer by die klas waar hulle besig is. Hierdie is op Wilde Klawer by Louis de Kok, hulle buite Baaklie Wes. Nog 'n skool. Hierdie is die skool met die beste view in die land van die Oranje rivier by Prieska. Daar's 'n bietjie 'n nader blik op daai skool, en dan hierdie is die nuutsteen wat ons nou minder as 'n maand gelede by Hopetown geopen het. En dan, maar die vraag wat ons vir onsself vra is, as ons nou sê daar's 30 kinders in elkeen van hierdie skole, as ons dan nou 100 skole implementeer op plase in Suid-Afrika, dan kom daar 3000 kinders elke jaar op heeltemal 'n ander manier in die skoolsisteem in. Maar die probleem is, jy het weer met 'n sisteem te doen. En dan as jy byvoorbeeld gaan kyk, dis interessant, Tim Cook, CEO van Apple, het in 'n onderhoud gesê dat hy het in 'n baie klein dorpie in Amerika groot geword, maar hy sê, the benefit I got when I was a child was being in a loving family and a public school system that was good. Maar nou as jy in Suid-Afrika gaan kyk, Ekbus het 'n komitee wat fokus op buffering against instability. En die Instituut vir Veiligheidsstudies het 'n aanbieding gemaak, en een van die goed wat daar vir my uitgestaan het, is dat hulle sê, as ons nie 'n gesonde onderwysstelsel in Suid-Afrika het nie, word dit een van ons groot veiligheidsrisiko's. So, ons het verder gaan dink oor hoe ons kan 'n invloed hê om hierdie skoolsisteem gesond te maak, en ons het toe koppe by mekaar gesit met spesialiste in performance mindset ontwikkeling in sport, wat by die beste sportspanne in Suid-Afrika tot hulle internasionale sukses bydra, soos byvoorbeeld die Springbokke, die nasionale cricketspan en die nasionale netbalspan. En saam met ons besef dat onderwysers en afrigters het eintlik 'n geweldige invloed in mense se lewens, en almal wat hier sit, kan byvoorbeeld dink aan 'n onderwyser of 'n afrigter wat in jou lewe 'n groot invloed gehad het. So ek wil graag die volgende storie ook met julle deel.
I made a vow for myself that this is it. This is what I need to change now. It's either I'm going to go that route or I can make something of my life. At the moment, I'm the IT Ignite head coach, cricket head coach of Free State. I have been for the last 2 years. You grew up where drugs was around you. You grew up where abuse is around you, alcohol abuse. So there's things that I was not really relating to, but it became an everyday thing, so you got used to it. So for me, the upcoming of that was that we became like that. It's what is natural to us, to be honest, where I grew up. Eventually where the penny dropped is, I think, when my dad turned to alcohol, his heavy abuse of alcohol. I mean, it became so bad that my mom couldn't handle the pressure with providing for us. It became tough where my mom had to go steal. She worked and then she stole money at work. She got involved with colleagues and she stole to try and better our lives. and eventually they got caught and my mom went to prison for 5 years. I attended school at Pescodia Primary School, and basically it all happened there at that school, and I went there. So I think the turning point for me was at primary school when the guy Riyad Alexander introduced me to cricket. I was always looked at the kid with a big bag, walking in the dusty streets of Rodepan, taking a taxi, going to practice, coming back late 6 o'clock at night, have to do homework, next day do it all over again. I think he actually saw when I came at school, I had proper hands, my reflexes was good. So he needed a wicket keeper and he called me and he said, I see you got good reflexes, don't you want to become a wicket keeper? So I'm like, yo, I never ever did this thing. And he said, it's simple, all you need to do is just catch the ball. I was just good in reflexes and he enhanced my skill, but he knew my circumstances as well. So I think that was also a blessing. After practice, he would always give me a loaf of bread, and we used to get at school that milk, Sajak milks where you suck it like a bumpy. So he used to keep always a few of that and then give me when I used to go home afterwards. Not just me alone, there was many kids around me that went through the same circumstances. So he knew the circumstances, and I think he identified something good in me. And it was for me to take that forward, and I am still grateful today for him. The sad part came when I went to under 17s and we went to Durban, if I can remember it properly. We saw a pub, or I saw a pub on the right hand side of me, right where we just pulled in. And we went into, packed our bags there, and I had 2 guys in my team. I told them, well, did you see there's a pub? And they were like, yeah, are you skiing? And then we went there and we drank. And eventually other provinces drove past and saw us in our uniform. And we got chased back from Durban, to be honest, that year. They flew us back to Bloem, which I was ashamed of what I did, but it's all I knew all my life, how to react, and I was drawn into that world. Yeah, I think my decision making that time was very poor, to be honest, because like I mentioned, it's all I knew, drinking, becoming the tough guy. You always think that's the way to go. But since that, I must say, when we got back, that he dropped us at the field. I can remember the words he told me, it is, you will never ever play cricket in your life again if you don't pull yourself together. That was the words he gave me. At 17, I think walking back from that, it changed me completely. I think thinking of my mom in prison at the same time. Sorry, I am a bit vulnerable, but this is what it takes, I guess. And then that inspired me to just go and do right all the time. It wasn't easy, to be honest. It wasn't easy. I think that drove me more to make sure that you can't lose focus. You can't lose focus, but it's not going to be easy. I think that was my drive, that I don't want to be where I am. And one day I'm going to be a father. And I don't want my kids to go through what I'm going through. So that was my drive. I felt that my wrongdoing, I could teach someone. And there's many kids out there that's struggling with that, where coaches can't persist in a certain thing and buy time and have patience by teaching them that. And I thought, I'm going to give back that part of my life where I missed. I'm going to give it into coaching. It made a massive impact in my life. I mean, I wouldn't have been sitting here if it wasn't for them. So for me going forward, and whoever's listening, or whoever's in my position, especially teachers, coaches out there, they're massive inspiration, and they change people's lives, to be honest.
So VKB het intussen voortgegaan in hierdie maatskappy EduTrace is 'n start-up saam met hierdie sportpersoonlikhede wat nou die beste van hierdie wetenskap in sport in Suid-Afrika na skole toe vat. En ons is nou reeds besig by 2 skole in die Platteland waar ons van hierdie beginsels toets. Want hoe verander jy iemand se lewe of hoe verbeter ons die lewe van mense in die platteland? Jy begin om die goed in hulle lewe meer te maak as die sleg. En waar beter as om 'n gesonde onderwysstelsel in Suid-Afrika te bou? Want dis die enigste manier hoe ons vir die twee blonde kop seentjies wat ek eerste van gepraat het, 'n gesonde stelsel skep, of vir die 100 skole se 3000 kinders elke jaar, 'n gesonde stelsel. En die gedagte wat ek julle mee wil laat, as ons in die uithoeke van Suid-Afrika die onderwysstelsel gesond kry, gaan ons 'n reus in die platteland laat opstaan, wat 'n toekoms gaan bou, wat ons vandag nog nie eers verstaan hoe goed dit kan wees nie. Baie dankie.